Now that Facebook has reared its ugly head and banned Tommy Robinson, Alex Jones, and anyone that looks cross-eyed at them, Project Veritas took the opportunity to release some videos about the deeply underhanded and corrupt activities within Facebook to deny you information. And James O'Keefe and Project Veritas titled their piece, Facebook Insider Leaks Docs Explains Deboosting, Troll Report, and Political Targeting in Video Interview. After I was done reading through that article, I sat staring at it for a while because I wasn't sure what to say. The article itself is horrifying and shows just how vile Facebook is. It has become a cancer on the soul of the English-speaking world and probably in other languages as well. But I was struck by the irony of how we got to this position. The problem is that we have allowed evil-hearted people to hand Facebook this power. We are a society that is full of evil people who cloak themselves in anonymity as they spread some of the most awful and evil comments in the world. These foul trolls group together to spread their hateful gospel in comment sections everywhere. Part of the reason why I moderate all comments on the Shock website is due to these awful people. The other reason is that I have a responsibility to God to not allow heresy to have a voice in any area that I administer. The problem is that we have been forced to ask Facebook to stop these evil-hearted trolls. We were forced to give Facebook the power to take down these evil people. We couldn't do it ourselves since there was just way too much of it. And yes, there are those among us who need protection. Not everyone is as strong as you and me. The trolls among us love to prey upon the weak. They get a thrill out of terrorizing and crushing those who are vulnerable. And such evil should not ever be allowed. Ever. Those of you who call yourselves libertarian do not understand the evil at the heart of humanity. We are all despicable, all of us. And while some of us might not be as bad as others, we certainly have children and relatives who are that foul and evil. I know that I have some pretty awful relatives that probably should be taken out and shot if we knew everything that they were doing. Thankfully, they are hiding their evil from me. It's a good thing. Again, the point is that we have handed Facebook the power to shut us down. We did this, you and me, and we didn't have a lot of choice. We had so little choice because we gave up our Christian values a very long time ago. We gave up on God, and now we have lost our ability to speak. We spent a lot of time in I've spent a lot of time in third world countries. None of those countries has the right to speak freely. And they should not have that right, because the average person does not have a strong enough moral and ethical standard to keep them from destroying themselves with their freedom of speech. China is a perfect example, and Mrs. Little and I were talking about that country's recent history last night. Chiang Kai-shek was a good man who lost the civil war with Mao Zedong, because the people under him were greedy and corrupt. Chiang did his best, but the people were too corrupt and he wasn't ruthless enough to engage in a reign of terror. And this has always been the story of China. It was not until I married my lovely wife that I learned the blood-soaked history of China. And it is soaked in blood precisely because humanity is basically evil and stupid. The only way that China could keep their provinces together was to rule with an iron fist, and those dynasties that lost the will to kill everyone that didn't bow to them quickly fell. This is the human condition when your people are not Christian. When godlessness is not at the core of a society, that society destroys itself. The only thing that can keep a godless society together is fear and terror. Today we think of Taiwan as a free country that is democratic with freedom of speech. But this is a recent development, and we are seeing signs that some are trying to abuse this privilege for their own benefit. And I am disgusted by this. I love the Taiwanese people, but they are only human, which means that they are stupid and prone to destroying themselves, as adorable as they are. And we Americans are doing exactly the same. Worse, we Christians are doing this. We are doing all the things that Jesus criticized the Pharisees and Sadducees of doing. We are adulterous and have chosen to preach the traditions of men instead of what the Bible actually says. We have become blind, leaders of the blind. We were supposed to be salt and light, but we have instead become so worldly that no one can see Christ in our lives unless we wear a cross on our t-shirt. However, all of that doesn't mean that you should not be outraged by this article. Sanctimonious hypocrisy should always make you mad, and Facebook is being thoroughly revolting. These foul minions of Satan are doing their very best to subvert America and turn it towards debauchery and socialism. Whether they know it or not, Facebook employees are doing everything that they can to destroy what is left of American goodness. In fact, I believe that they are spending so much time silencing conservatives that they allow the foulest of evils on their platform. Terrorist groups and rape gangs seem to have a free rein on Facebook. Child rapists are peddling their twisted evil. Violent leftists conspire to create mayhem. All kinds of crime goes unchecked. Yet if you are a conservative, you are locked down. Yes, there are bad people that Facebook is trying to stop. It's not all one-sided, but the attempt to shut down Republicans, Libertarians, and Christians is foul and evil. They should be ashamed of themselves, but you won't find them having so much as an ounce of shame or even remorse over the damage that they have done or the lives that they have destroyed. And yes, they really are destroying lives with their efforts. There are people who have built businesses around their Facebook pages only to be shut down because they have views that are incompatible to the pink-haired morons in San Francisco. Facebook should have its business broken up and scattered across the country. And I would love to talk about alternatives, but we would still run straight into our original problem. How do you stop the evil and vile people who act in such a despicable way under the cloak of anonymity? Then I watched the YouTube video that goes along with this expose, and it's called Facebook Insider Leaks Docs Explains Deboosting, Troll Report, and Political Targeting in Interview. It's even more on the ugly and foul character of Facebook. These people revel in their ability to destroy those who have a political philosophy different than theirs. As I said before, these are people who are doing their best to strike at the heart of what is left of any goodness in America. They wish to tear you down, and that is their goal. That is their desire. That is what they are working night and day to do, and if these weren't the last days, I would not understand any of this. But even then, I'm still amazed. Those who are evil have always wanted those who are good to die, and for thousands of years they have hunted us down and murdered us in the most foul ways imaginable. But we still survived and thrived. They will kill us. We will not win the battle that they are fighting. But we do not fight with their weapons. And to those who wish to fight fire with fire, you condemn yourself in the eyes of God. Fighting fire with fire is nowhere in the Bible, and you sin against God if you do so. We cannot stop the coming of the Antichrist. It cannot be done. The door is already open, and our sin was what opened it. I'm saying this as much to myself as to you. We will not win this skirmish. They will triumph in what they attempt to do. They will corrupt and destroy America. And as much as I despise this, I must accept it. We sinned against God, and He has opened the way for the coming of the Antichrist. It is already done. The question is, what do we do about this?